And we are live. SPNHL Talk Season 25 finale. We are here. Myself, Cuban, Mr. KOD, Kissadelph himself, with special guest Skinner. What's going on, Skinner?
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Glad for you to come on. And then, of course, the boss man himself, S.A. Pliskin. What up, boss? Let me play you
Hey.
in. Make sure you kiss the ring there, please. Or
Yeah.
Skinner.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
All right, all right. So as our last show last week, me and Plisk had a little review of Calgary versus Carolina. We both picked Calgary, thought they'd probably give them a good run for their money, which they did. It was a competitive series, but at the end of the day, yes, folks, 3 in a row. Carolina.
Carolina.
Carolina. They're
Again.
Calgary. What happened? No, what happened? Doesn't matter. It's all about that. Sporty Spice. Yeah, buddy. Did not happen. Moved to Carolina or Calgary. Still didn't get it done. It's all right, Sporty. Chase the shadow of the Cuban. It's not going to happen, buddy. You're still missing 2 pieces to complete that championship. Sorry, I just had to rhyme that in there, Sporty. Skinner,
man.
congratulations.
What an effort, though. What a great effort.
Yeah.
It made it interesting.
Yeah.
Finals were fun to watch, at least.
3 in a row. That's the hanging cap. No team's done it. Chomper had 2 in a row. Sedin did that, and then now without Sedin on the roster, just managing behind the scenes there, he puts together another championship team for 3 in a row.
Yeah, he did. I think he only needs one person on that roster to keep winning championships, though, unfortunately.
I don't know who you're talking about. I thought it'd be him. Is it not Sedin?
Sedin's a big chunk for sure, but yeah, he can sit it out and not have to worry about it with our guest here today.
Yes, special guest Skinner, the MVP of the Carolina Hurricanes. What was your thoughts going into the season, starting the way you guys did, Skinner?
Well, going into the season, so before we even started, I was pretty optimistic about it, our chances of repeating, or I guess three-peating. But we drafted a good team, and I did some heavy scouting because Sedin had some big personal things going on at the beginning of the season, so that's why he couldn't play. And
right.
So basically, he was GM in title, but at the draft at that time, he didn't have a ton of time for himself. So I did most of the scouting, and then I would talk to him and Beastie and see what their thoughts on things were. But basically, I looked through every single player on the list of sign-up guys to try and just find somebody because we had a lot of cap tied up into 2 people. We had 17 mil in me and Beastie. So basically the goal was just to fill out the roster with quality guys. And I thought we felt really, really good about it after the draft, to be honest. But then the first 2 weeks we forfeited 5 times, and I was just so frustrated with
Yeah.
the league but not at anything that anyone else was doing. I was just frustrated with my own team because we would have 5 or 4 people every night but not have enough to field a full lineup. So I was just super frustrated, and at that point in time I think a couple of us just wanted to be done with it. But Sedin, major props to him because he made a couple of moves that got us people with better availability. And over the course of the season, it picked up. And really, all we needed to do was show up, and we were fine. but
Right.
that was the biggest
And
problem.
that's where I was going to go. Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what changed it around? Were these guys that you had scouted said that were available, and then all of a sudden stuff happened, or were they in other leagues and just weren't ready for the SP season? Like, what was up with that early in the 2 weeks?
I think it was mainly other leagues, but there were some guys like Captain Cheese who he was with us from the beginning, but he could only play like one night every week, and then suddenly he could play 0 nights every week. It was just we had a couple guys that were only available one night that we didn't expect to have be only available one night. So like
Right.
last season, we had basically myself, Beastie, Mac, and Sadine all available to play like basically every single game. So it was just kind of smooth sailing for the whole season where we didn't have to worry about that. And that's just something I wasn't expecting to have to run into was people not being able to show up because I've never really had that problem before.
It's a very odd problem for a team that's so powerful. You think they'd want to be there?
Yeah, that was the
know?
most frustrating thing. It was like we'd show up for one night and we'd win all three games like 7-1, 7-0, 4-1. We win all three with no
Right.
problem. And then the next night we can't even field a team.
Yeah.
It was just super frustrating and it was causing me a lot of headaches personally, and I know that Sadine was really frustrated because he couldn't jump in and help out himself. He just had to watch from the sideline as his team was forfeiting every night.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating for sure.
And like Plisk touched on, like you like that stuff that happened those first 2 weeks. That's like rookie GM stuff. That's stuff that new guys don't get no respect. They're trying to like build their reputation, and then guys just don't want to play or show up. You got a guy who's won 2 in a row, has the streak, legitimately is building amazing squads, and you don't want to show up. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what?
Yeah. It was definitely some major headaches in the beginning.
But you had a lot of hands-on. You spent a lot of time in the GM chat and whatnot.
Yeah.
How was your initial taste to that whole world?
That was honestly, I enjoyed it because probably the fun part for me is just interacting with people and like there's not like our team chat was we'd talk a ton on game days, but then we didn't really like play that much during the week or anything like that, or just like there wasn't a ton of talk. So it was fun to see from the other GMs that just like their drama that they were going through or whatever they had going on, and it's just fun to be able to talk about the league with other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So from that aspect, I enjoyed it a lot. I had no complaints about that, but I have to say there are a lot of people in this league who find very major complaints over very small things. And I'm not even referring to myself. I'm just referring to in the beginning of this season, I would see the littlest things that people are going crazy over.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it is ego. A lot of it is just
Ain't no egos in this league. What are you talking about?
Nobody has an ego, but it's so rampant. It amazes me, honestly. It does. You hear a lot of shit, but the stuff I hear constantly is ridiculous. It's all childish shit.
Can I just touch on one thing? And it was probably the biggest thing. And as soon as I heard it and I told you, you're like, holy shit, that totally makes sense. Was when Sadine said he was going to run the team, but not be on the team. And everyone was complaining about the cap. And I'm like, he IR'd himself. And you're like, holy shit. Like, that simple of a fix. It's like he's literally an IR. And if he removes himself from IR to play at any point, then he's got to make cap space for himself.
Well, yes and no.
You know what I mean?
That's technically how it was. Prior to the season, we had a deal with Sadine that if he was going to do that, he wouldn't play. Period. He was just going to sit there on the outside. So technically he's on IR, but there was no opportunity for him to say, "All right, I'm going to come play now." It was more of a.
It was NFL IR. Once you go on the IR, you're done for the season type deal. IR.
Yeah. I guess that's a better way of saying it. So he didn't have the option to come back, which I guess at the beginning of the season would have helped some, greatly for them. But unfortunately, he was forced to sit there and watch it go down a little bit.
Skinner, what was the move that you felt that you guys pulled with everything that went on? I know you added a few guys, but what move was it that like, hey, we got this guy, and because we got this guy, now we know that everything's going to be good the rest of the way?
Well, I think the easy one to say is getting Woy, because for me, I felt like he was the second best player in the league. Or not to toot my own horn, but I feel like my numbers have backed themselves up over the last 2 seasons. So
Oh, absolutely.
I felt like getting him got us the top 2 players in the league. So that kind of put us where we could have any other players around the two of us and we would be okay. But that being said, our biggest issue the whole season, like I said, was not showing up.
Right.
And the move that changed that was getting, I think it was when we got Poutine. I think that's what really kind of changed our dynamic, because he was someone that could play every single game and could play any position and wouldn't complain. So that was really, really important for us, because we were having guys that were locked in positions or having guys that couldn't show up. But he was there every night, available to play, and he would play any position without giving us a hard time. So that was probably the most important move, because I think after we got him, but before we got Woy, we were still fine. We would still be like championship favorites. But before we got Poutine, we were in danger of forfeiting our way out of a playoff spot. So I think that was probably our most important move.
That's what I was going to say. I think picking him up really just solidified the roster at that point once you wrapped him up.
Yeah. I would say that talent-wise, Woy was a bigger pickup, but in terms of importance for our overall season outlook, it would have to be Poutine. Just getting us to actually finish games, that was really big.
Right.
Throughout the playoffs there, and I know while watching you guys play Calgary, there's a few moments where you weren't necessarily cutting up your team's performance, but you had a moment where you're like, geez, boys, we better smarten up. Was there ever a point when you thought we may not win this season?
I know I got to that point because it just seemed like we were kind of sleepwalking our way through it. And it wasn't like, I don't know if it was complacency just from how the last 2 seasons have gone, but it seemed like nobody was really like locked in. And we got to, I don't think in the regular season there was any time, because we went from like, as soon as we stopped forfeiting, we basically won the last 4 weeks without losing. Maybe we lost 1 game. But once we got into the playoffs, the series against Detroit, our first series, I was a little bit nervous because I had to sit out the first 4 games, and they played all 4 of those games really, really close. So I was a little bit concerned there. And then against Montreal, we thought they had some firepower to keep up with us, but I think their top guys got really demoralized after we went up 3-0 on them. And so, yeah, I would just say against Calgary, I wouldn't say that there was ever a time where I was like, we're going to lose, but it was more like we actually might not win if we don't wake up and stop playing like we don't want to be here.
Right.
My question is, the Detroit series, obviously everyone was keyed on the first 4 games because you were going to be out. And once you guys still had a lead, you know what I mean? After the first night, you guys, I think, were up 2-1 at that point. Yeah. I kind of knew. I'm like, at that, it's like, no way. Like, once Skinner gets back, they're going to win that series. And then whoever, Montreal or Florida go against, like, both teams I felt would have gave you, obviously Montreal, you guys walked all over. I don't know how we would have done if we would have played you guys, but obviously you guys would have been the favorites, and most definitely you probably would have won if it was Florida. And then you're staring out. Was there a team in the West other than Calgary that you were like, man, if we face these guys, we may just lose the streak, you know what I mean, of winning 3 in a row?
I thought that, to be frank, I thought Winnipeg was going to give us was the only team that would give us a challenge. Winnipeg and Florida, because of how good on the back end they were. That was the only teams we were concerned about. I wouldn't say that. I would say those were the teams I was most concerned about personally.
Right.
But Winnipeg. Sorry, 1 second.
So as he was saying, Winnipeg, which me and you plus both thought, well, it just seemed that would be the team that would come out and give, in my opinion, Carolina like the toughest matchup because of Montoni and Breezy and how it was built.
They definitely had a defensive advantage. But even near the end of our series with Calgary, it felt like their defense improved. Like it just went from 0 to 100. So I thought they would at least give them some kind of battle, but it seems like they kind of lost their way in the finals there.
Right.
Sorry to jump off there.
No, it's okay, man.
Okay. But I just wanted to finish my train of thought. But basically, just the 2D pairings for Florida and Winnipeg, and also I personally think very highly of Ransom on Florida. I thought he was probably one of the best forwards in the league, and
he was amazing. When I joined onto that team, dude, like the first thing I picked up on was how well he played. Like he was really good.
Yeah, I like his game a lot, and he actually like knew how to play me defensively as a center. But yeah,
remember that person when we get to our next segment. It'll help me justify it.
Yeah, it's no problem.
So,
but yeah, I would say Florida and Winnipeg were our probably two biggest concerns, and we didn't end up facing them. Calgary, I would say personally, I kind of wrote them off myself a little bit, and it seemed like everyone else did too, just because I didn't think their style would translate in when they're consistently playing teams that knew how to play defense.
Right.
But props to them for making it all the way, and then they got a game off of us too, so, props.
Well, it proved to be a pretty exciting final, I thought. Even though it ended way too quick for my taste. Could have gone at least 6, but...
Yeah, I think... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to agree with Plisk. Like, I was just surprised how quickly it ended. I really thought it was going to go 6 or 7 games the way Calgary was playing and the way you guys play. I thought it would be that way. But, I mean, it was close. That series was close. Like, the scores were closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was definitely... I would say that we went into basically every game or in every series thinking we were going to win or we were going to sweep. That was our thought. But I think once we got through the first series, it was kind of like we took our foot off the gas a little bit. Like my first game back, we just stomped Montreal because we were kind of like, me personally, the Montreal GM had kind of like come after me a little bit when we had played them earlier in the season. So when I was able to come back, I was just like, personally, I was very, very motivated to just go out and just smoke them. And that's what we did. But then after that, we didn't have anything like against any of the other teams or anything like that. So we were just kind of playing, and I don't know how many games, Plisk, I know you caught a good amount of them throughout the playoffs, but I'm pretty sure you can hear my voice in them. And we were kind of joking or like just laughing a lot.
Yeah, it was basically a big locker room. It was just kind of hanging out, having a good time. It was, there wasn't much strategy going. It was just kind of more teasing. What was it, teasing Caesar? He teased Caesar quite a bit.
Yeah, we would. It was basically just us kind of laughing at each other or messing with each other and just playing, because we knew when it got to being close, we could all buckle down and figure it out. But when we got to the series versus Calgary, I think they did a good job of capitalizing on their chances. So we would like control the puck for a lot of the game, but then they'd come right down the ice and they get 3 shots on net right away. And I have to credit Poutine, because I know I saw some people saying that any goalie could have won, and maybe that's true, but he definitely made some big saves for us in the final specifically to keep it from going to overtime for a game or keep us from blowing a lead in the game. It was
he had a few big moments in the last game for sure.
Oh yeah, the last game especially, because we were, I believe, game 4 to make it 3-1. We just kind of blown them out. Or sorry, game 3 we blew them out, and then game 4 was kind of close, but we scored a lot. So we were just kind of thinking we were going to cruise through the last game and then call it a night. And we it just didn't go that way at all. I was playing personally very poorly, and then we just kind of turned it on in the third period. But then Poutine had to make like 5 or 6 big saves at the end, and specifically one where they somehow got a 3-on-0 with like 20 seconds left. I don't know what we were doing, but they got a 3-on-0 with like 20 seconds left, and he made the save, and our defense remembered where they were on the ice, and we got the puck out. That was that, pretty much. So
I do remember, I believe at the beginning of the Calgary series, Calgary is known for putting the pucks on net, and Poutine, he made the comment that he might actually have to do something this series.
yeah. That was the case.
I got Seeds coming on. He just sent me a little Skype, so I'm going to add him in here. My thing at this point, Skinner, is we were messaging. I asked Sedin if any of the guys wanted to come on, and he said he'd ask, and you said you'd come on, which is great.
Yeah,
because I want you guys to get your props. So we messaged back and forth on Skype, and you put this out there, and I said, is it cool if I brought it up during the show? And you said, absolutely. You're an open book, and you have been, dude. You've been amazing. And the thing that you said that I want to ask you about, you told me, I said, congrats on winning. Great season and another championship. And you said, thanks. But you have to say that this one was a little bit less enjoyable than the last time around.
Yeah.
But you still can't complain about winning. So what was so about it?
Well, I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, but the first thing that really just made me frustrated from the get-go was our forfeits. And that just really put me in a sour place where I was like, guys, we can be the best team in the league again. We just have to show up and actually play. And we had to go through this for like 2 or 3 weeks where I was just very, very frustrated where we weren't having guys show or one thing or another. I think I voiced my frustration in the GM chat a number of times. And that was the first part. And then once we got that under control, it was like, okay, we're good. And then we went through like most of the rest of the season without too many issues. And then, of course, near the end of the regular season, we get to it where people have been asking me for a long time. And finally I was like, yeah, like I also was known in another league as J Claus, and I came over here to be Skinner. So that was probably the biggest thing, is because I came over here to just kind of have a fresh start and just not have any like preconceived notions about me, where I could just be me and not have to worry about having people judging me for anything, because I don't know if everyone knows this, but I got banned in LG as J Claus because I did a stupid thing with stats like a year ago. And so, yeah, when I came over here, I was like, I know if I come over here, I'm going to bring drama into the league, and I don't want to do that. And then, what do you know, as soon as this comes out, everyone has their own opinions on it, and drama starts, and I feel like that's all because of me. And so it just made me really frustrated with myself because I brought that in, but I couldn't really control that, and everyone is welcome to their opinion on me, but I hope that you more judge how I acted in the league the last 2 seasons than what you thought you knew or thought you heard about me from a year ago.
I will say that I was not aware of the reason behind it. I know when I found out right away, we took care of it, but you handled it pretty well considering the position we put you in.
Well, I knew that I was like a prominent member of the league. So, or like, there were a lot of eyes that are going to be on me of people in the league. So just to give another example, Bergie's Deke gave me an incredibly difficult time about it. And then next day comes out that he's done the same thing that I did. Didn't disclose that he had another name, but nobody really.
In all honesty, it's an innocent mistake. In all honesty, most people, the rules really made to prevent you as Skinner getting a $10 million contract coming back as Steve or Joe Claus or something. You know what I mean? It's to prevent you from hiding from your contract. That's what the rules for. So people people see that rule and they go, "Oh, he's hiding who he is. He should be banned." It's like he's not necessarily. I mean, yeah, he's not letting us know he's this person from another league, but he's not hiding from our league. You know what I mean? He's not. He's still. I told people, Skinner. He might have been J Claus, so he's still gonna be punished because he didn't disclose that, because it is an advantage that he gave another team that nobody else had. But other than that, you're 10 mil Skinner, who we know as a 10 mil Skinner.
Right. That's the thing that I was like, I understood a suspension. I was like, you know what? That's fine. I understand some people are going to be super angry about that, and they're going to want their form of justice or whatever. So I could accept that, but I like you said, I'm already 10 mil this season. It's not like my salary could go any higher, so it's not like I was avoiding anything. I was just
and that's how I always knew the rule is, and that was the first once it came out. That was the first thing I said to people was, well, is J Claus a name registered in this league? And everyone was like, well, no, he never registered J Claus. I said, then what did he do wrong? Well, he didn't disclose. I said, but still, like, the rule, the way I always took it is if you registered as J Claus and had a 10 mil or 7 mil salary, and then you come back as Skinner, now you're in trouble because you're hiding from the contract. Like,
it's exactly what it is. The rules in place to prevent guys from hiding from contracts and to avoid a team they don't want to play for. Like if they get signed and they don't want to play for, like if you didn't want to play for Sedin anymore, and you came back, you just switch your account, you wouldn't have to play for Sedin anymore. That's why it's there. That's what the rule's for. It's not there to ban guys who didn't want to say who they're old.
If he was a guy from another league or something.
Yeah, I mean, we expect it from you. We want to have it. That's why we still had to punish for not doing it. But it's not as extreme as what the rule's for. So the extreme punishment didn't come out of it. There was no need to ban. There's no major crime committed. So there was no reason to take it past what was given to you.
You're gonna have to update those rules, buddy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Like open the can of worms.
Get a little more, detailed about that in there. Just saying, for next season.
No, there's a few rules like that. A lot of guys read a rule and they go, they come up with so many different scenarios in their head about things like, and I always kind of have to correct them and say that's not what that rule says. That's not what it's for. I don't make rules just to have a rule. I make it to prevent something from happening. If something's not happening, well, then the rule doesn't need to be applied.
Right.
Even if there's a small context of it, as long as what I'm trying to stop is not happening, then
it works.
Then it works. But yeah, it definitely needs some clarification. I know some people were confused by the rule, the punishment of it. It says, the punishment is up to and including including a ban, and they thought that meant it's just a ban. They didn't read it as the scale. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a scale.
See, I'm an old head, and I knew.
Yeah, I mean it's technical jargon. I mean it's like when you read any legal document, they usually have some kind of weird language that you don't understand. That's my weird language. I don't say, if I wanted to ban somebody for doing something, I would say it's just a ban. If I have in my mind when I make this rule, if there's different scenarios, I'll say up to a ban, because that means I know that there are situations that will not need a ban. And in this case, that's what it is. I don't need to ban somebody because they didn't tell me who they used to be before they came here. I don't care really who you are before here. You told me it was J Claus, I still wouldn't have known who the fuck that was because I don't play the other leagues.
Yeah,
right.
I said the same thing. I was like, Kaz was talking to me about it, and I said, no offense, I don't see the big deal. I said, because I don't really do a lot of homework on these guys that come from other leagues anyway. I like that other guys come from other leagues over because, it just opens the competition up a little bit, but no disrespect, Skinner, none whatsoever, bro. But I was like, and J Claus and who? What? Yeah, okay, that's great. He got 4 games. Pliss said 4 games was it. Then 4 games is it. Like, let it go.
No, some people
and usually
going forever.
Yeah, some people want.
Yeah, of course.
I'm putting some people in quotations because we all know who I'm talking about.
But I mean, that's But even then, like, there were a few comments like, "Oh, 4 games, that's pretty convenient." It really was. Technically speaking, my ideal punishment for that crime, instead of a ban, is a week suspension. But a whole week would have been the entire first round, and I didn't think that was fair.
Right.
So I brought it down to 4 games. Which someone was like, "Oh yeah, 4 games is pretty convenient." It's like, well, technically,
I mean, if they swept us, I would have missed the whole series and wouldn't have been able to play. So
I thought 4 games is a pretty big penalty in the playoffs.
I thought it was huge. For it being the playoffs, 4 games. I'm surprised
They were playing
that Skinner, like you said, hey, that's why you play the regular season the way you do, so you get that first series, and it isn't, no offense to Detroit, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, they had the opportunity. If anybody had something handed to them, that was it. But unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize on it. Unfortunate, but again, we had to give you another cup. So you're not coming back next season, right? That's what
I know. I'm sure it's
only come back if you can play for me.
I'm sure it's very one-sided from the league. I will say at this point.
No, I want you to come back. It's not one-sided, buddy. I want you to come back.
He's going to register under
I'm only kidding. I'd love to have you back, but yeah, it's so tired of losing.
No, I know you're just messing around, but I know for the sake of parity throughout the league, you would of course like there to be not someone winning 5 straight cups.
Yes, I mean I'll be honest. It's difficult. I don't ever want to see somebody leave because they're too good, because that's just counterintuitive. But yeah, it's definitely difficult to be in a league where you have no shot.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But for sure, if we want you back, for sure.
Yeah, but Pliss, we had this conversation last week, so
yeah.
I'll say this.
Didn't you want to make LaPlante like $14 million or something a few seasons ago?
Oh yeah, he was. Well, our scale only goes
top 5 in stats on forwards and defense.
Yeah, but our scale only goes up to 10. Anyways, we had the
and disturbance is 10.5.
Yeah, he's 10 now. Every time there's a season, I correct it, but I just been too lazy to actually do it on the spreadsheet. But I did that this season actually.
So Skinner, you said you and Steve were talking, and what was going on there?
Well, he's asking me basically the same question as you guys. He was like, "You're not coming back, right?" And I was like, as of now, I'll say I'm leaning towards no, just because this season, like I said, I didn't enjoy it as much, but I still had a really nice time, and the league is well run and everything like that. It's just I know Steve is planning on coming back, and Mac is planning on coming back. And if I come back, then he won't be able to sign Mac or Beastie or anyone. Unless he wants to let me go, then I'll be a free agent. But or I could take a team or something, whatever. But I'll say that I'm leaning towards no, but we'll see how 18 is when it comes out. Maybe I want to play again, but I feel like personally, as of now, I don't have much else left to accomplish right at this moment. So we'll see
except be a GM and win one as an owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I don't know. I'll say I'm leaning towards no right now, and I'm sure anyone watching now or later, there will be a lot of happy ears hearing that. But we'll see when the time comes. But I'm not signed up now, and I probably won't be signed up until 18 comes out, and I know for sure. So, there you go.
Well, J clause and not tell anyone.
Well, I feel like it would be a little bit more publicized if people are looking through the list and see J clause signed up, then they kind of know, right? It's not. I
still don't know who that is.
True.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit the same way. I was like, oh yeah, J clause. Oh yeah, that guy. I know who he is, right? It's that guy. Duh. What?
Well, yeah, I don't know. And that's that's great that there's some people that I think it's great that if there's some people in the league that have no clue who I am or was or before this or whatever. But I know that there were a lot of people that did and had some negative ideas about me, and some people like us, like I know Reaper had his personal opinions on Steve, and I'm sure I didn't help that with how everything played out. And there were people with those same kind of ideas about me in the other league, just because I screwed up big time a year ago, and
Yeah.
it's still lurking over me now.
Well, you can lurk with 3 championships held high above your head. Congratulations.
And that's really, I mean, yeah, you should never do anything that gets you the trouble. But let's be fair. Let's be fair that if you weren't as good as you are, nobody would even know that you did anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I must say it was, it's so far that run is still going because 18 is a month away, and the next season's probably about a month away before getting ramped back up. So these 4 weeks of downtime from NHL for some guys,
What's
that?
You can breathe again.
I can breathe again.
Yeah,
I deleted hockey the minute we got eliminated.
Nice.
It was done.
I did not delete it, but I did pick up Madden, so that's what I'm doing now until hockey comes out.
I got guys when's the salary coming? I was like, fuck, I got a month, guys. What are you so excited about?
So congratulations to Carolina, 3-peating, and great season, Skinner, you and Sedin. Awesome job. And hopefully when 18 comes out, you do change your mind and you come back, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words.
And if you're not coming back, don't be gone too long.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm going to hand this over.
About 2 seasons to lick our wounds, and then you come back again.
I'm going to hand this over to you here, Plisk, because along with this awesome finale and the congratulatories to Carolina's season, it is award time, buddy. And so I will hand this over to you as you run down the list.
I won them all.
No, it's not Seeds of Tavares that won them all.
Nope.
Seed PlayStation Hockey. Not Sedin Power. It's Seed PlayStation Hockey League. Come on.
Okay, you got the screen up already?
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to bust it open? All right, here we go. I'm gonna
bust the rest
share
of it.
Yeah, of course.
I got all the cells hidden, so I got to open them up when you're watching.
Yeah. I'll screen share it here for everybody. Little screen share. Boom. Click on my name.
On your name.
And what? Wrong one.
We're all live. We're good.
We will be in a second. Hold on. I have to bring up. Nope. Where'd it go?
Did you open
Word document?
Yeah.
No.
I did have it open.
I'll send it to you.
Hold on.
Is that it? Never mind.
No, you don't have to send it. I got it. I do. Trust me. I had it.
Do that stream section.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
Here it is.
Okay. There it is. What?
It's loading.
Yeah, there you go.
All
you got it?
Perfect. Got her. All right, I guess we'll knock it off here with the Jack Adams. It was actually a pretty tight race this season.
Yeah.
We did have.
Go ahead and type it up. Type it up before you say it because there's a little delay between the screen share sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
It's already typed up. It's all just it's hidden. The cells are hidden right now.
Ah.
Sneaky boy.
Yeah, I'm all prepared. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, Sporty Spice was held on to that title for a while this season. He had almost perfect numbers until the very last week he dropped the ball, and that was when Cosmo here popped out of second into first, and they won the president's or the Jack Adams this season. So congratulations to him.
Beat me by 1 point.
Big Cos, yeah.
Which, if I recall, he beat me by standings points, but we had the same amount of points. I thought.
No, he does. I don't think he did.
So we both had 61 on the season.
But you guys, it wouldn't have been possible. Well, let me think. You both had 61. Let me check again.
I believe so.
Pretty sure it looked like you had a good.
He might have had a better goals for or goals against, and I would assume that would be a tiebreaker.
No, it was definitely ranking standings points. You had 6 points for standings, and he had 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he beat you on standings. I think everything else you guys had even. So he beat you 102 points to 101.
I meant like actual league standings, like wins and losses and shit.
It's based on position, like your rank in the out of all the teams.
Okay.
You get 2 points or 8 points for being first and second. You get you know what I mean? It goes 2 points for every or 1 point for every 2 ranking spots.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he beat you by 1 point. So yeah, you almost had it too. Good job.
Right there.
Yeah, it's a nice job, the Cosmo. The Heart, I think we'll wait for the end for that one because that one's always my favorite to do at the end.
All right.
So let's go down to the Conn Smythe, awarded to the most valuable player to his team in the playoffs. And without question, Sedin said Skinner.
Bum bum.
Yay!
Down to the Frank Selke. This one was one of the ones that gave me some trouble. Went to the forward who best excels at the defensive aspects of the game, and I went with Ransom from Florida.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you guys to remember that because I think it was Skinner was saying how amazing of a defensive player he is.
Yeah, I figured that's what that was about.
Yeah, and I had a hard time with that because I don't know if you can see it on the bottom of the cube. You can see the sheets at the bottom. You can switch tabs.
Yeah.
And so click on sheet 2. I had to break it down. I had to do so much work for that trophy.
And look at that.
Yeah.
Look at those stats.
I had a tough time with this one. These are all the guys that I thought deserved it. And I broke it down by their rank against each other so that there were 6 players that I had to choose from. And I ranked them per game. I thought the games were close enough that we could do a per game rating. And per game, they would have a certain number, and I would rank them between each other. If you were the best at a certain stat, you got a blue color. If you were second or third, you got a green color. If you got fourth or fifth, you got yellow. If you're the worst at that position or that spot, that stat, you got a red color. So I broke it down like that, and as you can see, it was pretty close for some guys, but Ransom had the best overall numbers, so I had to go with him.
Wow.
There's a few, like I said, that deserved it. A few that really deserved it, but I had to battle for that one.
That formula totally makes sense, though. There's no arguing there. Like statistically, he did it.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that. I do want to say personally, I think that looking into the future, face-offs should be something that you take into consideration.
Cosmo actually has asked me to do that. He wanted me to add the face-off statistic for the player stats, but I had to wait till the season was done before I can add it. But that will definitely be a new feature for next season.
Awesome. That's the only thing I would say about that. I don't have any complaints on it. Ransom's very good.
All right, going down to the King Clancy. The player who has made a noteworthy contribution to the league. I put player in quotation marks, but I felt someone who's helped out more than most of in the last few seasons and has not gotten enough recognition, in my opinion. So I gave this one to M, Mrs. Reaper's wife.
Yes.
Okay.
She's been
hands down
incredibly helpful. She doesn't even play for the league. She does it just because she loves the league so much. And, I just want to show her some appreciation for that.
Hands down. Congrats.
Yeah. Going down to Bill Master.
The one award I can never win.
Yeah, not yet. I'm sure there's ways.
Everyone else in the league decided to be more of an asshole.
This one is awarded to the player who exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to the league. Basically, break that into players that are in tough teams, struggling teams, and they still keep a good attitude. And they still make an effort to show up for every game. This season, I decided that the evil monkey deserved it. He played a lot of games for Toronto, and Toronto was struggling, and I never heard a peep out of him. So that's pretty impressive.
Congrats, evil monkey.
Evil monkey.
Yep.
Going down to the Bing, the player who plays at a high skill level, maintaining a high level of discipline. So basically, one of the best players in the league who can do it without drawing penalties. And if we open this one up, we went to True Legend from Calgary.
True
I don't know if
Boo.
you have his stats or not up anywhere. Do you have the stats page up anywhere?
I can open it up. I can bring it up on my phone actually faster.
Well, I can tell you off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure he was second in points and then had like 6 penalty minutes all season.
Yeah, he had 10 minutes of penalties, so 5 penalties the entire season.
Yes.
And he had 162 points and 44 games. So that's crazy. An unbelievable player.
Yep. 70 hits, 10 penalty minutes, or 63 hits, 10 penalty minutes, and then 136 takeaways. That's
quite good defensively as a winger, I have to say. I think I might have underrated him a little bit, but he was in passing lanes all the time against us. He stood out to me. So no arguments from me.
For sure. And of course, these ones are basically non-debatable. Maurice Rocket Richard. We have the top goal scorer in the league again. Is our buddy here, Skinner. 101 goals in 36 games. That's crazy. I don't even think anyone's ever done 100. Oh, no, he did it last season, 103.
No, there's a couple guys on there with 100.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, for that low of games,
Jay.
36 games.
Oh, yeah. Somebody had something ridiculous on here, though. I was just looking at that. They had a ridiculous amount of goals, like 74 and 36. Oh, no, 101's got that.
74 and 36. That's Fisher.
Bunny, 55 and 28.
But, yeah, 36 games. You go from 74 goals to 101 for Skinner. Juice later season 140 goals, but he had almost 60 games played, so it's not even comparable. So the fact that you're able to do that in such short time is pretty great.
It was a grind.
I bet. Just flick up on the stick and it just fucking eyes just curve around bodies and up and over shoulders and it sounds like trouble. All right, the Art Ross. This one's awarded to the player that leads the league in total points, and of course, again. Big 200 points for Skinner.
Ooh. Yeah. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. I don't think, let me see, have we broken 200? Yeah, just Juice later in the first season.
Or 17.
And you.
No, that's a misprint over here, buddy. What is that?
Oh, look at that. I forgot about myself.
That's some erroneous.
But that's 60 games, though. That's like twice as many games.
Yeah, it actually is almost.
Yeah. So, no, that's not really comparable in my eyes. You still. I mean, yeah, who's Skinner? Fuck him. We got Plisk, Anyways.
Plisk.
Down we went to Norris. That was basically open and shut, too. It was not even worth looking at. That was Woy. He ended up taking that one easily.
Ooh. Shout out Woy.
Shout out Woy, yeah. And he barely even had to play. He did all that in minimal games, too, I thought. Let me see. 24 games. He only played 24 games and destroyed on every category.
Yeah, he definitely turned it up with us. We had, I think, a bit of a better supporting cast than Toronto did. No offense to them.
Or Dallas.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, the Vezina. This one wasn't too difficult either. It was It was tight, but it was just high enough for the winner here. Hold Fast from Florida.
Yeah,
I
can't
think he
say I
had.
disagree with that either.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good goalies this season, but they're all good at the same place. But he just had a little edge, enough that it wasn't that hard to make a decision.
It seemed like he had the edge in basically every major
Yeah.
statistic.
Yeah, there's a minimal edge, but they had the edge on everything. So I felt it was an easy decision there. The William Jennings, the goaltender who plays for the team with the lowest goals against and who has played at least 50% of the season. And again, that was, I believe, 70 goals against for Carolina. And the award goes to, 78 goals against. That goes to Poutine.
That's surprising.
He wasn't with them the whole season, though.
No, it's not a player that plays for that team for that long. It's just it's total games, but it goes to that team, but they can't give the trophy to a team, so it goes to a player.
Okay.
So it's a player that played for that team who hit that many games is other than that, you'd never be able to track what teams they go to.
Okay.
But Poutine wins that one, and he probably would have had the same result had he been there the whole time, anyways.
Probably would have been better because we had a rotation of like 4 different goalies.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus minus, this was again crazy. Skinner 104 plus 146 on the season. I can't remember the last time I had a positive season.
I think my career positive just came. I think I'm like positive 5 now for my career finally.
Shit, I'm not 146, but damn. At least get around 30.
Yeah, who had it last season?
Postal Mick there.
Yeah. Down to the Calder. That's our basically our rookie of the year. There's a couple good candidates in each position, but I think overall the one that stood out the most for me was Florida's Ransom again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him. And we get to the Hart. If we scroll all the way back up.
I got you. There.
Okay. The Hart. I had a battle. I saw who was going to win it. I tried really hard to not let them win it because I'm tired of giving them trophies. But Skinner again from Carolina. I tried looking at all these other names and I couldn't justify it over you. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
And that is all.
Let the bitching begin. Just saying.
Yes.
I still think I should have won all the awards. So.
I did. I put you in parentheses. I put you like a little bracket. They're just cut off. It says every award is said in brackets, seed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he just revealed them now. Sorry, seed. I just stopped screen sharing.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna check it also.
Oh man.
So congratulations, everybody. It was a great season. Our next season.
Salaries done yet?
Salaries are done. I had to do them twice because I normally the process is I take the old numbers and save them over or copy and paste them over the new ones. Let me say that again. I'll take the games played and the salary and copy it over to the master file, and then I will take this season and match them up against it. But I forgot to copy and paste it, so I matched them all from this season with 2 seasons ago. So I had to go back and do them all over again, which was kind of a big pain in the ass. But they are done. They are accurate now, at least I hope. And they are posted under the Master Career Stats.
So there you have it, folks. Salaries are updated. Awards are updated. Our champions are running the streets of Carolina.
Again. It's almost like a boring ceremony over there now.
It's like when New England wins the Super Bowl. It's just like, they won again.
Yeah. Just a reminder, those registration will close at the end of September. I think the game comes out on the 15th, if I read right. And we're going to give about 2 weeks of 2 weeks of game played before we do our draft. So we're going to close it on the 29th of September.
What are you? Any idea about draft dates yet or anything?
Generally speaking, if we close it on the 29th, it'll probably draft on the 3rd.
Okay.
Okay. That would make the season starting on the 9th.
Free signs.
Yeah.
Rookie showcase, all that bullshit.
All the good stuff, yeah.
Woo. Well, another great season, Plisk. Another edition of SPNHL Talk. Thank you, Skinner, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Seeds, thanks for jumping on and keeping yourself composed.
Nah, you're welcome.
I love it. Boss man, thank you for letting me continue to do the show and be a part of the community.
You've been doing a great job with this. It's always been exciting to listen to.
Well, next season, season 26, will be here before we know it. NHL 18 edition. Can't wait.
Same here.
So as always, we sign off. Be kind to each other, everybody, on and off the ice.
Yeah.
Virtual hockey player lives matter.
No.
There we go.
Peace.